What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today. Now, today we're going to look at Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I know I did that one video not too long back, but that was just a couple different resolutions, just kind of specially for a guy. But now I'm going to go and just do the normal low through ultra and whatnot. And if the video's not too long, I'll even do the advanced settings. If it's getting too long, I'll do that in a separate video. But anyway, though, why don't we just jump right in and look at some settings real quick.
So, starting off here, we're going to do everything on low, but at 1080p. Got my fresh rate on, I got VSync, control buffering, and all that stuff that'll possibly mess with our frame rates turned off. And then we'll make another video on the advanced settings later, because this video was already going to be pretty long as it is. So, let's get into a benchmark. Benchmark just got done running, and here's what we got. A minimum of 14, maximum 155, and an average of 117. So, I'd say it's about time for us to get into some gameplay. So, we're starting off on low settings here. So we'll do a little screen recorded low settings first. Just gonna kind of run around. Give us a chance to see how it runs. Now, from what I've noticed on these lower settings, all the way up to high, it seems to, the screen recording seems to affect the FPS by quite a bit. But once we get up into like high and ultra settings, it doesn't really mess with it much, maybe like 4 or 5 FPS. But still good to have the camera recorded gameplay. But as you guys can see, for once, even though it does kill my frames a little, at least it doesn't turn it into stuttering garbage like it does with some other types of games. Though I have noticed every once in a while, the afterburner window will just kind of like glitch out and kind of like get really large and like take up half the screen for like a quarter of a second. At first I thought the game was actually messing up, but then I paid closer attention. I was like, oh no, that's just afterburner. So if anybody sees any weird graphical anomalies, that's probably just Afterburner being weird. And I have noticed it's kind of weird on certain Vulkan games, so maybe Afterburner and Vulkan just still don't get along after all this time. I don't know. But I just thought I'd bring that up for anybody who was wondering why it does that. Get over this little trestle. Hopefully no damn trains come while I'm doing that, but luckily these are pretty short bridges and trestles, so... Sure is a lot of animal noises. We are out in the middle of nowhere, though. Oop, kind of ran over that guy. Oh, no, he's getting up. He's fine. But it's time to move on to camera.
Well, alright. Time for some low camera recorded gameplay. Just kind of running around in some railroad tracks. Hey, I increased my bonding with my horse. Well, that's always fun. Oop, don't go off the edge and kill the horse immediately. That'd be just the greatest. Hey, I'm really starting to like you, man. Yeah, me too. Oh, you're dead. Good shit. But as you can see, when we're not recording, we get way more FPS. And it's very smooth FPS, too. We're not sitting there getting a bunch of, like, random gigantic stutters. That's why I like having the frame time bar. It's way easier to visualize. Just seeing the milliseconds doesn't really do it justice. Seeing it look like something like the game's having a heart attack or something. Then you can be like, yeah, that game ain't smooth at all. Uh-oh, I've got a bounty. A bountiful bounty. Well, it looks like it's starting to be daytime, too. Oh wait, no, that's frickin' just the moon. Damn, that's a bright-ass moon. Shit. Oh, the sun was coming out. Hopefully a train doesn't come just about now. Alright, there we go. We're across the trestle at least. Big old lake down there. Huh, little hut. I don't know what the hell goes there, but... In any case, it's time to move on to the next graphics setting.
Now we'll take a quick look at medium settings real quick. And then we'll move on to a quick benchmark and then some gameplay. And there we go. Let's get into that benchmark. So for this benchmark, we got a minimum of 79, a maximum of 150, and an average of 116. So I think with that, we can just mosey right on into some gameplay. So now we're going to do a little bit of medium screen recorded gameplay now. Okay, let's see, which way should I go? You know what? Screw it. Let's go straight. We won't go on either of the railroad tracks. Alright, back onto the tracks. Let's go down and see what that smoke's all about. Alright, let's move on to camera though.
Now for a little medium camera gameplay. I saw smoke down here, so I figured I'd go check it out. Probably nothing interesting, but figured why not check it out. Could be interesting. Might not be. Looks like there's a little fire down here. Some dude sleeping. Or is he dead? Alright, so he's not dead. Fine. Alright. Well, there we go. It was interesting. And with that, we can move on to the next graphics setting.
Now we're going to do high benchmarks, or not benchmarks, but, well, we are going to do benchmark, but high settings is what I meant to say. So let's just look at all of the settings real fast. And then we can get on with the benchmark. Alright, now it's time for benchmark. Benchmark's all done, and this time around we got 70 for a minimum, 135 for maximum, and an average of 108. So with that, now we can get into some gameplay.
Now for a little bit of some high gameplay. Found a bunch of random stuff out here. I don't think there's anything super useful. Alright. Hey, some ginseng elixir. It seems like there's something, god dang it, something else over here. There's a bunch of stuff all over the place. It's not the easiest to walk around. So what do we got here? Some ground coffee. What else we got around these parts? Oh, well, that's a dead dude. Well, I guess you don't really need this. A letter A. Alright. Let's get out of here. I was gonna read that letter, but nah, not gonna do that. I'll do that later. Now it looks like there's another fire up here, which means there's probably a person up here. And they're probably gonna get angry at me. I'm gonna have to shoot them like the last guy. Awesome. That's the cool way to get off, of course. You're not cool if you don't get off your horse like that. Alright, what do you got? Well, alright, it's time to move on to the next graphics setting.
Now we're going to do a little bit of ultra gameplay. So let's look at the ultra settings first. And then we'll do a benchmark, and then we'll move on to gameplay. And I'm just going to do advanced settings in a completely different video. Now let's move on to the game, or the benchmark. Ultra benchmark just got done running. We got a minimum of 51, a maximum of 111, and an average of 75. So now let's go see how that how it runs in some actual gameplay. Now for a little bit of some ultra screen recorded gameplay now. Let's just ride the horse around a little bit so we can see how it runs.
That's a real beautiful.
I guess let's just keep going this way. Just trying to decide which way to go. Hello. Alrighty. Huh. The heck is going on over to the left? Some kind of mill? Alright, why don't we move on to some camera gameplay now?
Now we're moving on to a little ultra camera recorded gameplay here. Let's see, let's go down here. I've got a bounty pretty much everywhere, it seems. But I do tend to shoot people in the face in this game a lot. I mean, I wouldn't do it if like almost every person that I meet wasn't a giant asshole. Like them, they didn't know me, so I didn't shoot them in the face. Half the time I just walk up to somebody and they're just like, well, I'm just gonna shoot you, get out of here. And I try to get out of here and then they shoot you. So it's like, well, fuck you. Wow, that's like a burnt down house. Jump. Yeah, I don't really have time for your races right now. I'm making YouTube videos, man. Not gonna lie, as soon as I heard you've got a fast looking horse there, I thought for sure I was about to try to get robbed and I was gonna have to shoot more people in the face or die trying. People working in the fields here. I stole your wagon. Just because I felt like it. But anyway, let's go see what happens when we start messing around with some of the anti-aliasings. Why don't we?
So now we're basically going to leave everything the way it was on Ultra, but we're going to turn TAA on and see what that does. Now I'm not going to go through all of the different ones. I'm just going to put it right up to its maximum high quality. So that's the one we're going to be messing with. So now I'm just going to run a quick benchmark, and we're going to keep the gameplay and stuff a little shorter, because the videos probably are getting long. So let's go try the benchmark. So benchmark's all done now, and we got 52 minimum, 114 maximum, and an average of 75. So with that, let's go get a minute or so of some gameplay. So now we're at TAA High. Everything else is maxed on Ultra, the same as it was before. And we're just going to see how it looks, how it runs. Whoa! Doesn't really look like it got much different benchmarks than with it off, so. I think, funny enough, it almost looked like it gave me a little bit more FPS. But yeah, well, I figured we'll just get like a little over a minute on each of these. Not going to go all the way up to 2 minutes on all of these, since the video is probably already getting pretty long at this point. And I still want to do MSAA2x and 4x as well. such an old game, it still looks pretty damn good, even at 1080p. Alright, now let's move on to camera.
Alright, just gonna get like a minute or and some change of some camera recorded gameplay now, since it didn't seem like this affect performance very much, but just wanted you guys to see what the game looks like and runs like on every setting, so being thorough, but don't need to do 2 minutes of each of these, since the video is already getting pretty long, and I still want to do the MSAA. Swampland starting to look like now. Oh, and it's also beginning to rain. Well, alright, I'd say that's good enough, so let's go mess with the MSAA now.
Now we're going to leave everything on, including TAA, and we're going to turn on MSAA2x, but we're going to leave everything else the same, but just showing you guys that that is the case real quick. And there we go. See, MSAA is turned on. So, now, let's move on to a benchmark. Well, benchmark is all done, and here's what we got with MSAA2x. We got 39 minimum, 96 for maximum, and an average of 61. So it can still average over 60 even with all that. That's impressive for a laptop. But, alright, now let's move on to gameplay. Okay, now we're in some MSAA2x gameplay. So I figure we'll just do what we usually do, get on our horse, just kind of hop and drive around for a little over a minute here. As I'm trying to keep this a little shorter than the 2 minutes. I don't want this video to be a literal hour long. It's probably already approaching on the 40-minute mark as we speak, and I still have one more setting to do here. Hey, look, a fox. Huh. And some alligators. Lots of alligators by this river. Hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure this is where the benchmark ends every time, now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm almost 100% positive. That's kind of funny. I didn't even mean to come up this way. That's where he always gets on his carriage and rides out of town, and that's where the benchmark ends. So I'm kind of like doing the benchmark route backwards so far. That's kind of just fun. Anyway, though, why don't we move on to camera?
So this is how the game runs. Camera gameplay with 2x MSAA. We're gonna go through St. Denis here real quick. I don't think I've gone through any giant city like this and throughout any of the tests, so figure going through here with MSAA on and all that good stuff and everything else on Ultra will be a great test for it. See what it can do. Oops, I don't know what's wrong with me. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's get back out of town now. Still good to go through there real quick. Yeah, we seem to be dancing right around that 60 FPS mark. why don't we just see how it runs with 4x and 8x, just for fun.
Okay, now lastly, we are going to do MSAA4x. And everything else is exactly the same as it was, so let's just look and make sure. Because every once in a while this game will just change settings on me, so every time it restarts to change settings, I always make sure everything's the way I had it. But let's get into that benchmark. Well, finishing up the screen recorded capturing part anyway, we're going to be doing MSAA4x now. So, where the hell did my horse go? Oh, there he is. He's all tied up over here, so let's go get on him and just ride around. Yo, moo to you too, Kyle. Oh, I smacked my horse's head into this pole. Alright. Which way should we go? Let's go this way. Hello. Bully. What a bully good day. I'm racing through here because I'm making a YouTube video. Out of my way, everybody else. Basically sitting right around the 60 FPS mark. Oh, we dropped down to 55 now. But that's to be expected. We are doing 4x anti-aliasing in the middle of town here. This is a lot of stuff to smooth out. Alright, why don't we go wrap this up with some camera recording gameplay now.
Alright, finishing up with 4x MSAA. There is no 8x in this game, so probably for the good too. It would be probably getting in the low 40s right now, probably. Almost had a head-on collision with a train there. That wouldn't have been any good. Guy on horse versus train, I feel like the train wins every time. Alright, I'd say let's wrap this video on up. Well, alright, we pretty much are all done with Red Dead Redemption, at least at 1080p on the laptop itself, but now it's time to go see how it runs on all the other resolutions. And since this one's got a benchmark and all that stuff, it takes quite a lot of time. So, it's probably gonna be a making videos till 11 p.m. kind of day, but it's fun, so why not? Anyway though guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and until the next one, peace out guys.